Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Paul, and in this Game.com video we're going to be discussing Basin Falls once again. Yet further information has leaked into the internet, as it tends to do, including the performance of the 7740K. Now, it's not really a secret that Intel are really pushing their architectures forward in terms of release dates. We've known about this for some time, including the mainstream Coffee Lake, which will push 6 cores, 12 threads to the average user. And it's all thanks, of course, to the competition from AMD's Ryzen. But it's quite interesting because there is a lot of speculation as to the point exactly of the 7740K. Well, there are some benchmarks and specifications for this particular processor, which I want to get into in just a second. But I also want to discuss, first of all, a potential release date and window of what's happening with this platform, Basin Falls, once again. So, according to Charlie over at Semiaccurate, he believes that the press are already getting invitations, or have been sent invitations, for a gathering over at San Francisco, and this is going to be for Basin Falls, and this is happening on May the 2nd. And more leaks tell us that the official public announcement will be at the end of May, the 30th, and we'll see them hitting retail shelves on the 26th of June, which isn't too long into the future at all, really, and does tell us some of the level of seriousness, I suppose, that Intel are putting on Ryzen. So, first of all, we've already gone through a lot of specifications and leaks about Basin Falls, so I don't want to cover too much of that in this video, but what I do want to focus on is the 7740K. So, Syssoft Sandra is one of the big leakers' paradises, as I've said previously, and a motherboard, which is a Gigabyte X299 Gaming 3, has been run with a 7740K. Now, for those who don't know what the specifications of the 7700K is, which is a, just for clarification's sake, a Kaby Lake processor, well, 4 cores, 8 threads, 4.2 GHz with a 4.5 GHz turbo, cache of 8 MB, and that's pretty much all she wrote. However, the 7740K is a bit different. It contains 4 cores, 8 threads, 4.5 GHz turbo. Hang on, I'm finding the different thing. Give me a second. 256 kilobytes of level 2 cache and 8 megabytes level 3. Oh wait, it's pretty much identical. The difference here, of course, is the TDP, and the fact that it's made out of, once again, slightly better quality silicon. What does that mean? Well, theoretically at least, you're going to get slightly higher clock speeds and potential overclocking performance with this particular processor. I also want to point out another rumour which is going backwards and forwards. Now, a lot of the early rumours pegged this processor to squarely only support dual-channel memory. However, some recent rumours have said that it's going to be quad-channel. Either way, I think there is one thing that's definitely, well, going through a lot of people's minds right now. How is this processor going to fit into the grand scheme of things? Particularly when, once again, we look at Cannon Lake, which is supposedly going to offer 6 cores, 12 threads in the not-too-distant future for the mainstream. Honestly, it's just a bit weird. As for the benchmark, well, we have Processor Multimedia, which is scoring at 450.61, if you want to be accurate, M pixels. Whereas on the other hand, Arithmetic is hitting 152.24 GOPS. This is not too terribly different from what you would expect a 7700K to perform, which isn't particularly surprising. Let's just be honest, we kind of expected it to be roughly on par. We didn't expect there to be major architectural differences which somehow made this propel itself into greatness. It's just going to be really weird from the point of view of the customer. Now, I don't really want to turn this into an AMD versus Intel thing, because quite frankly I think that's not really an argument that really exists in this particular context. From my point of view, the weirdness is more like Intel versus Intel. I don't really understand the purpose of the 7740K. I mean, here's the thing. Let's say you've got a decent Intel processor right now. Let's say that, let's take AMD completely out of the equation. Let's say you've got like a 6600K or a 6700K. You're not really going to want to jump on this platform to then buy a 7740K. Now, there could be some potential offerings that might change your mind. For example, higher clock speeds if you're not going with loads of loads of threads, and you maybe just want higher quality silicon and higher clock speeds and, you know, that type of thing, and perhaps you want the potential benefits of an X299 platform and everyone's extra connectivity or whatever, maybe. But even so, I think a lot of folks would just either just stick with the platform they've got, or maybe just go with a Kaby Lake based build, because let's face it, they've got more choice of motherboards, the RAM is cheaper, blah 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 blah. So really it comes down to like the 6, the 8, the 10 and the 12 core processors, which really are going to sell this platform. But even the 6 core, it's like, okay, with, you know, with Coffee Lake coming out, it's like, well, that also eats up some space as well. It's just a bit weird, I guess. Anyway, it's going to be curious how the market responds to all the lists. Let me know your thoughts on this one. I'm not particularly convinced about the 7740K. I'm not saying it's going to be a bad processor, as in like it's going to perform poorly or it's going to, you know, not meet expectations. I think it's going to do exactly what you'd expect from the 7740K. I just don't exactly know what the sales figures for the processor are going to be and exactly what the market is it's going to be aiming at. I guess that's the best way of putting it, considering the X299 platform traditionally is for the prosumer. Anyway, hopefully you've enjoyed the video. I'll see you soon. Take care. Bye for now.